Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News in your daily wrestling newscast for Friday, August 30th, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with news regarding Vince McMahon. The long-discussed Netflix documentary series on the former WWE chairman will be released next month, coming to the streaming platform on September 25th, according to a special announcement made yesterday by Netflix. Entitled Mr. McMahon, the 6-episode series is produced by Bill Simmons together with Chris Smith, the executive producer of the hit 2020 Netflix documentary series Tiger King. Said Smith in the press release, quote, "The goal behind Mr. McMahon was to pull back the curtain and reveal the true Vince McMahon obscured beneath the persona he presented to the world. Over the 4 years of production, the story evolved in truly shocking ways, culminating in some extremely harrowing allegations. The final product is a revealing documentary that we believe offers a rich and nuanced portrait of the man and the complex legacy he left behind." End quote. In ratings news, this week's episode of AEW Dynamite drew a total audience of 691,000 viewers to TBS, according to Programming Insider. That's down from last week's audience of 698,000. The rating in the 18 to 49-year-old demographic was a .22, also down from last week's demo rating of .24. TNA Wrestling presented Impact last night on Access TV, featuring matches taped on August 2nd and 3rd in Tampa, Florida. In the main event, TNA Knockouts World Champion Jordynne Grace retained her title against Ash by Elegance in a no disqualification Falls Count Anywhere match.
Shades of Samoa through the table! Cover! Jordynne Grace retains in a match by Elegance.
Here is your winner, and still TNA Knockouts World Champion, Jordynne Grace.
Also on the show, Joe Hendry defeated Brian Myers, but was attacked after the match by Myers and Eddie Edwards until Mike Santana made the save. Immediately afterwards, Santana defeated Edwards in a one-on-one match. In other results, Hammerstone beat Eric Young, Speedball Mike Bailey defeated Rich Swann to retain the X Division title, and ABC went over Cody Deaner and Jake Something. After the match, ABC was attacked by Swann and AJ Francis. Ring of Honor streamed last night on Honor Club, featuring matches taped on August 10th and 11th at Esports Stadium in Arlington, Texas. In the main event, ROH World Women's Champion Athena defeated Aaliyah James in a non-title proving ground match. In other selected results, Mina Shirakawa beat Rachel Ellering, Tomohiro Ishii topped Arya Davari, Evil Uno defeated Jacoby Watts, and Johnny TV went over Sydney Akeem. In Major League Wrestling news, new MLW World Tag Team Champions were crowned last night at MLW Summer of the Beast, streamed live on YouTube from the Melrose Ballroom in New York City. Akira Kwan and Minoru Suzuki of Contra Unit upended Okamura and Satoshi Kojima of Cozy Max to claim the belts, ending the title reign of Cozy Max at 110 days. The main event of the night was a non-title Opera Cup quarterfinal match in which Mystico topped Atlantis Jr. In other quarterfinal matches, Kenta beat Akira, TJP defeated Filthy Tom Lawler, and Bad Dude Tito Escondido went over Alex Kane. In other selected results, MLW Women's World Featherweight Champion Janai Kai retained over Hanako, Matt Riddle defeated Matthew Justice, and Paul London topped Brett Ryan Gosselin. And in some unfortunate news, Raymundo Diaz Mendoza Jr., who wrestled under a mask for 24 years of his nearly 40-year career as Villano 5, passed away yesterday at the age of 62, as was confirmed by CMLL, the organization where he had competed regularly during the 2000s. The son of renowned luchador and 6-time NWA World Light Heavyweight Champion Ray Mendoza, he and his brothers formed the Five Masked Villanos. Prior to first taking on the Villano 5 persona in the mid-1980s, he wrestled as Rocambole for the first decade of his career, which began in 1975. Over the years, he appeared for every major Mexican promotion, which in addition to CMLL included Lucha Libre AAA, the UWA, and the Mexican WWA, holding tag team gold wherever he went, usually with one or more of his Villano brothers. He held the UWA World Light Heavyweight title on 2 occasions. During the latter half of the 1990s, he appeared regularly in WCW as part of the major influx of Lucha Libre talent during that period, although he was typically used there in an enhancement capacity. He was unmasked after losing a mask versus mask match with Ultimo Guerrero in March of 2009, after which he continued to wrestle under the name Ray Mendoza Jr. He had gone into semi-retirement in 2013, but had his most recent match just 2 weeks ago, wrestling once again as Rocambole for Mexican independent promotion Lucha Libre Real. Once again, Ray Mendoza Jr., aka Viano 5, has passed away at the age of 62. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.